Hey, hello. Right, firstly, I apologise for any bad language which will slip out of my mouth, and also if I talk a little bit too fast as well, because there's quite a lot that I want to get into this. So, let's go. Okay, so this generally started from people asking me, Mike, where are you from? And I'd say, my Stag, and they'd look at me and they'd kind of go like that, and I'd say, well, actually, no, I was born in Pontypool, and I grew up in Cwmbran. I moved to Newport, went up to Bridgend, and then I actually married into my Stag. And that's the most surprising thing, because I chose to go into my Stag, and I hated the valleys. I hated the idea of it. I hated the thought of it. And the problem was, I was in school in Bridgend, and these guys would say, we're going to get you steaming butt. And then they'd say things like, I'm going to knock your skinhead off, right? And that intimidated the out of me, because I just played Lego, you know? And then I went up there, and there was this gloomy, horrible landscape with these houses. I couldn't realize how people could live so tightly packed together. And it actually made me feel like while I was up there. So I decided to flip it around and emphasize to people just how posh I was. I grew up in Coediva in Cwmbran, but I felt great about myself. And one girl in a kebab shop said, so how come you so clean, but? And I turned around and I said, well, it's an education, you know? And it all went to What happened? I met a girl. And you know what it's like, guys, when a girl talks to you, it doesn't matter what her accent is, as long as she's whispering the right things in your ear, you fall for it. And that's what I did. Fell for a girl, and the idea was I'm going to stick a ring on it and get the f*** out of there, right? It didn't happen, right? We stuck around. She nailed me to the floor, basically. But that's when things started to change. I started to meet the neighbours. I was doing work on the house, and these guys said, you put his head in the door, you need to get screws. I'll give you some screws, but so-and-so lives down the road. He's got screws. You want an hammer? I'll give you a hammer. They were actually really nice to me. So, yeah, it turns out I quite like the valleys. I quite like the way that these guys are talking to me, and they give a shit about people and people and people. And it's a lovely community, you know. What happens now, years later, is I've got like old women that'll turn up on the door for my presents and cards for my kids, and they'll go, hiya, Mike, and I'll, hiya. So how was the business? I have no idea who these people are. They come year after year giving me stuff. But what's beautiful is I'll talk to her, and she'll take in all this information. She'll go down the road, she'll speak to someone else, and that person will speak to someone else, and I'll bump into that person. They'll tell me everything that I didn't even know about myself, right? People talk to people. It's the most incredible environment that you could ever want to be in. And the other good thing is that now I ride a bike, okay? I've got thighs of steel. You can feel them if you want, all right? And now, what used to be gloom, dark, dank, horrible environment is the most beautiful landscape you could ever hope to see. And I get to see it from the most incredible angle from the saddle of my bike. So yeah, I love the valleys. I love everything about it. I love the people, I love the landscape, I love everything, I love the warmth. And what I love mostly about it is actually giving me a bit of identity. Now, when you're someone who's half Irish with a bit of Portuguese, a bit of French, a bit of Armenian and stuff in you, I want an identity. And being Welsh is a great identity. And I've learned that from being in the valleys. It's actually made me feel really warm inside that these people that come together, that care about each other, has actually taught me values. And I was brought up all right, but these are the values that I've kind of learned from being up in the valleys. And in fact, I think it could be a religion. We could actually got valleyism, where we don't have to pray to we just got to go up there. We just got to go up there and be nice people. This way you can stick your arm around someone and say, don't you worry, but if I can't do it for you, I know someone will do it for you. And that's what it's like. So there's so much beauty in the valleys. And from moving from where I was from and then to go up there, yeah, my eyes were open to the generosity of spirit. And I actually learned so much about myself from being up in the valleys. I learned that there's some goodness inside all of us. And for anyone that's actually lost their identity because they're spending too much time in chapter arts with your lovely beards and you're reading poetry and you've forgotten what it's like to be Welsh, get up to the valleys, spend some time, sit on a sofa outside a tea house and talk to the neighbours and they'll talk to you. Sad thing is, the valleys are dying, okay? And it's a sad, sad fact. This is our lifeblood, okay? And these places are dying because there's a lack of engagement with young people. There's a lack of engagement. There's no ideas. There's no one's going up there and no one's kind of talking because there's just too much stigma attached to it. So we've all got to get together and we've got to save the valleys if we can. Get up there, spend some money, go and see some exhibitions and just be part of it and feel part of it. So what I want to take out of today, or what I want you guys to take out of today is if someone says to you, well, I'm from London, or I'm from Aberdeen, or I'm from Treorchy, or even my stake, don't judge them harshly. Don't judge them based on the roidheads that you've seen in St. Mary Street, okay? Because the person standing in front of you is a beautiful, beautiful person, has a great upbringing, and has got a warm heart. Yeah, these are my kids. So to prove to you how much I love the Valleys, I wouldn't want to bring these two little up anywhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love the Valleys, and I hope that's why you love it too. Thank you.
Well, mate.